So, welcome to Sip with Rev Melissa. SIP is an acronym for Spirit in Practice. And I say the perfection is in the practice. The perfection is in the practice. So, we practice and we practice every day. And one of the tools that we use to practice with is our daily spiritual practice. So, I hope all is well as we journey into our new series. And before we can journey there, I feel a little incomplete. I feel a little incomplete. No, that's not right. That's not right. It's not feeling incomplete. What's lingering, right? I have a lingering thing that's happening for me that possibly today's sip will bring it into completion. Let's see. Let's see. So last week we were talking about journey, right? And that was our series, our journey series, which I really, really enjoyed our journey series last week, Diana and Lindsay. And just to remind ourselves, journey is defined as, and this is my definition, journey is our day's progress in a higher state of consciousness. Our day's progress in a higher state of consciousness, Tim. And that has resonated with me in a very profound way. It is helping me and supporting me in shifting how I hold myself when I'm doing work. When there's something that I need to get done, I hold it now as today I am making progress. And that feels much gentler for me, right? And one of the things that's lingering for me is something else that came up in last week's journey series. And that was the line from the 365 days of richer living when I read December 1st that day. And the line is never let doubt create detours. Never let doubt create detours. That has lingered for me. And so I've been, taking it into contemplation like, why is this lingering so much for me? Like all weekend, it's just like I've been thinking about it and chewing on it and, asking myself, is there doubt? Is there doubt? Is that why this is lingering for me in such a way? And so I'm kind of living in that question. I'm living in that question. So when I got up this morning, Ron, to do my spiritual practice, you all know, those of you who don't know, part of my inspirational reading that I do is my Science of Mind magazine. And for this year is the 365 Days of Richer Living book by Ernest Holmes and Raymond Charles Barker. So I go to pick up my Science of Mind magazine and I turn to today to read it as part of my spiritual practice. And the title for today is No Room for Doubt. I got real quiet. I read that. I said, no room for doubt. So, when things like this happen, I pay attention. I pay attention, right? Because I just shared that sentence, never let doubt create detours, has lingered. And I've been thinking about it all weekend. And then today's Science of Mind daily guide is called No Room for Doubt. So I want to share some of this with you. I like that too, Ron. No room for doubt. So it opens with a quote by William Shakespeare, who said, our doubts are traitors and make us lose the good we oft might win by fearing to attempt. Our doubts are traitors. And then Ernest Holmes said in The Science of Mind on page 49, she's quoting here, we should say to doubt, where did you come from? Who is your father? You have no place in my mind. Get out. I know that the faith within me now neutralizes all doubt. This is the scientific use of a mental statement. There must be no compromise with the consciousness. I like that, Lovejoy. There must be no compromise with the consciousness. So the person who is doing this month's daily guides in the Science of Mind magazine is Reverend Martha Quatina. And this is what she wrote, and I'm going to just read parts of it. She said, doubt delivers itself when I begin to overthink things. You know, anything worth thinking is worth overthinking. The trouble with this process is doubt arrives in color with big muscles to push me and any shred of confidence out of the way. Doubt is sneaky. It doesn't start in some big way. Instead, it comes in a small thought. Are you sure? Is that what you really want? What if you're making a mistake? What if this really is too much? Ugh. This is the process by which doubt gains color, adds muscles, and becomes something I think is real. However, there is a remedy. Decision. Decision is truly the only way to counteract doubt. Make a decision. Yes, there are moments I must make the decision, jump, and then support myself on the decision I made. This is faith, and the decision is the open door to let in the truth. Most of the time, there is room for course correction, and I must make the decision. Otherwise, doubt is the order of the day, and I do not like where it leads. I find supporting faith, truth, and inner knowing is what leads me back to where I need to be. And then her closing affirmation is, I decide to trust myself. I decide to trust myself. So I so appreciate this, all of this. I so appreciate the lingering of doubt, right? And I so appreciate coming to, for me, completion with it. Because what I was holding, what I recognized this morning, what I was holding was a bunch of decisions that I need to make that I've been hesitating in making. And in that hesitation, doubt was seeping in, like in the little tiny little cracks. Doubt was seeping in, right? And and so and so something came up on Friday, right? I was having a conversation with someone in the HR space, and they were, sharing with me about this opportunity that they think I would be perfect for, and all of these things. And I'm totally not interested, right? Like, so my decision regarding that, and there are a couple other things that are percolating. My decision about that is I made a decision. I made a decision. If it doesn't line up with my joy list, right, then it's a no. It's a no. And what I know is that saying yes, saying yes for me is a big thing. Saying no is just as powerful. It's just as powerful to say no to those things that we know are not in alignment with where we're going. right? So I think for today, never let doubt create detours. Paying attention for me, paying attention to those times where it starts to seep in, instead of me focusing on, oh, what is this doubt about? What is this? I'm focusing on making a decision. Just make a decision, because what she said about doubt delivers itself when I begin to overthink things is exactly where I was finding myself. I was overthinking. I was analyzing. I was just all in, right? Trying to figure out what was happening. Why was I feeling so unsettled, right? Why was I feeling so unsettled, out of sorts, right? And it was because I was not making a decision, right? I was in this space of look, this what it is. Let me tell y'all. Let me just tell y'all. For me, this is what it is for me. I know from experience over and over and over again that when I am clear, when I am crystal clear, things just move. They do. Things just move, right? But when I am kind of like hedging, right? When I'm kind of like hedging myself, I find myself in a space of feeling off balance, feeling out of sorts. It's the best way that I can describe it. So make a decision, because the wonderful things about making decisions is this: you can make another decision. You can make another decision. It's you just because you make a decision doesn't mean that you can't make another decision. We could always make another decision, right? So for me, I realized that the longer I lingered in not making a decision, not making a choice, the more I was feeling this thing called doubt. That is not part of my life experience that I want to, and as I go on this journey in my life every day. So I had to let it go, but let it go recognizing that there was something for me to do. And the something for me to do was to make a decision, to choose faith, trust, right? In what I was believing about myself and how the universe works. So I am a clear channel for the universe to move through. Therefore, I needed to make a decision. And so that's what I did. That's what I did. I said no. I said no. And so that frees me up. So I'm excited. I should say I'm getting excited because I'm not quite in the full vibration of it yet. I'm getting excited about what is unfolding next through me. I'm getting excited about that. And what I know is we have to clear out to make space for it. And doubt, y'all, doubt takes up a lot of space in our consciousness. It takes up a lot of space. So if you want to declutter doubt, get it out. It's not welcomed here. It's not welcomed here. All right. So this is not a series, I don't think. I feel like it's completion from last week's journey series. But we'll see. We'll see what comes up between today and tomorrow. So I hope that was helpful. I hope that was helpful. Thank you, Lindsay. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. And on Mondays, I like to just introduce myself to folks who may not know who I am, who may see this in the replay. So I am Rev Melissa. I am an ordained interfaith minister. I am a licensed religious science practitioner, and I am a purpose coach, spiritual counselor. Somebody asked me what was a purpose coach. A purpose coach is someone who provides support, guidance, partnership in your journey. So if you need support, reach out to me and we can set up some time to do that. I am also the spiritual director, senior minister at Rockland Centers for Spiritual Living. And all of this is my ministry of joy, where I say, let's live life in joy, connected to our yes. All right, let me check in with Sekou, see how he's doing.
Yes, I don't have much, but your story about deciding reminded me of this story I heard. It was about the military. There was two branches of the military. They've been bickering about how to do something. I can't remember what it was. They've been bickering about it for, I don't know, years. And then they bring in this new admiral. His first day in the meeting, he makes a decision. Like, after all these years of them going back and forth, his first day, he makes a decision. And the story is told from his assistant's perspective. So after they leave, his assistant is like, well, why'd you do that? Like, how'd you do that? Like, what's going on? Like, we've been talking about this for years. And you just came in and made a decision. He's like, it doesn't really matter what decision I made. If it turns out to be the wrong thing, we'll adjust as we go. Mm-hmm. But we can't spend any more time just circling the wagons. We got to move. And movement is better than analysis paralysis. And that's what happened. That's what your story reminded me of. Just make a decision, start moving, and then the way will reveal itself.
Yes. Oh, I love that. Yep. That's what it is, y'all. Just make a decision. Just make a decision. And if you need to course correct, then you course correct, right? And the wonderful thing about course correction is that if you need to make the course correction, you have more information. You have more information that you can use to make that next move with. It's wonderful. So thank you, Sekou, for that. So join me tomorrow as we keep sipping. Sit with Rev Melissa, Spirit and Practice, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Please join Sekou for the Be Your Own Hero show at 9:45 a.m. Eastern Time, right here on New Thought Media Network. Peace and blessings, everybody. Peace and justice. We're living life in joy, connected to our yes.